do when you get your rabbits close enough to touch noses, but they're not bonded? Are they gonna lunge, scratch, bite? What's gonna happen? Better question is, what can you do to avoid either bunny getting injured? Welcome back to Love Your Rabbit. I'm Jana Brock. Thank you so much for being here. I am all about sharing best care practices for pet rabbit ownership, and I appreciate everyone who supports credible information about these animals. This video is a tip for when you're undergoing a bonding process, whether you're adding one rabbit or two, or you're trying to bond 3 or more rabbits together. Add one at a time. That's my best advice. We're not talking here about rabbits that were litter mates and you just kept them in the same enclosure together. We're talking about 2 rabbits that came probably from different areas, different backgrounds. Perhaps you had one all along and you went to the shelter to adopt another and make them partners. Or you have 2 rabbits and you want to adopt another one, have 3 living together. That is what I'm talking about when I discuss bonding. Nature ensures that litter mates get along for a certain amount of time usually until they get up into their adolescence. One thing to keep in mind is these animals they will start associating the other animal with either pleasure or something they don't like very much. So if you let them fight, that's going to be their memory of the other rabbit. What you want to do is when they're near each other or anytime you're having bonding sessions, you want to make it a pleasant, pleasurable experience. That's why in some of my prior videos, I tell you to graduate them after introductions to eating together on either side of a pet fence so that they can see each other while they're eating their meals. They like to eat meals. They like to eat greens. Same thing with treats. Give them their treats at treat time very near one another on either side of a pet fencing or a gate before you have them fully bonded. That way they associate being near that other rabbit with something they like rather than every time they're near the other rabbit they just start fighting. That is what you don't want. You never want to just put a whole lot of rabbits together. That is a really bad idea and it's dangerous. Not only for the animals, but it could be for you too. You could get injured as well. When you have 2 rabbits at the point where you can sit down with them and actually have a bonding session where you're present and they're going to be nose to nose, watch in this video clip what I do. Since rabbits, most of them, unless they've been hit on the head or unless they just do not like head rubs from humans, and some rabbits don't. I can't speak for every single rabbit. The only rabbits I've ever seen that don't want to be touched on their head were rescues that were brought to me that were not treated well. And you work with rabbits a certain number of years, just like any other living thing. Abuse and neglect leaves scars. You get to the point working with a lot of abused or neglected rabbits where you can just tell this rabbit boxes or fights because he was in a cage with many other rabbits and he had to fight for his food. Or he was hit on the head, someone mistreated him or picked him up by the ears, and he doesn't like to be touched on his head. That's because he's been injured. There are many reasons that could happen, and again, there are always exceptions, so maybe your rabbit just does not like to be petted on the head. It is a pleasant experience for most rabbits, so when you get them nose to nose, pet them both on the head, and do it in a way, since rabbits' eyes are on spread out further than a human's eyes. This allows them to see predators when they're out in the wild. That's the way their eyes are placed the way they are. They can't generally see your hand up here on their head. So you can give them head pettings when they're nose to nose like this. And they can't see that you're doing it. They will think the other animal is doing it. Let me show you what I mean in this next video. Again, the purpose of this, when you first get them together or anytime if you have rabbits that are having hassles with each other, you've given them space to check each other out, now you're ready to get them a little closer together, or they come up close together, take that opportunity to pet their heads so that they think the other rabbit is grooming them. I used this technique over and over and over when I was bonding Jessie to Oreo, which was a very difficult bond. Very, very lengthy bond. 7-8 months it took to bond them of daily bonding sessions. So I'll show you a video of what I'm talking about. So just as a reminder, whenever you have the rabbits near one another, try to do things that will build pleasant memories and not allow them to fight. Because if what they remember about that other animal is fighting, then they're not going to want to be around him. It's a matter of association. They will associate that rabbit with fighting. What you want to do is provide as many opportunities as you can to build good memories for each rabbit, so they associate that other animal with something they enjoy. As always, be kind to animals, and thank you for caring.